Hey guys, Kevin here to bring you a brand new video where today we're going to be doing day 7 of Failed Film February. And the film that we're going to be discussing today is called Crimewave. This is a very I don't know, kind of like underground film. It's not really like that underground because it's like made by someone like fairly well known, but I feel like it's definitely like lesser known compared to like other films from this guy. So this film was directed by Sam Raimi, who you know very well from Evil Dead and Spider-Man. But he directed this also, which is just like interesting to think because it's like this movie is so goofy, and yet like there's still like things about it that kind of like remind you of Sam Raimi, and you're like, oh, that kind of like makes sense that he would direct this at the same time, even though like the thing about this movie is that like it's incredibly cheesy. Like it is so beyond silly that like it's like too silly a lot of the time because it tries to like make a lot of humor just out of like the weirdest, dumbest things that are just not funny at all. And it like has like sound effects with like people shooting guns, like fake guns even, like when they go like this and they're like or whatever the sound of the gun is, and like they have like all this goofy music with like horns playing, and these characters like laugh like really hysterically, like really loudly and like a lot, like all the time, and it just like kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. And there's just like a certain like brand of humor here that just really does not work for me at all. Really didn't do much of anything for me for a lot of it. Now, I will say there are some aspects to this that I did like, though. And this is the interesting thing about this whole series is that, with this series, there's films that I'm watching where it's like, I can't say I really enjoyed this film overall, but, like, I'm kind of glad I watched it because it's like you can watch a movie and say, like, I didn't really enjoy that, but there's still some like good things about it. So like, when you watch a movie, like even if it might not be like the most amazing thing or perfect or really that good, often there will still be like things that you can still appreciate. And what I did find that I did appreciate here is that, there's still a lot of what makes a good Sam Raimi film here. These characters get put into like these like crazy situations where you have like these two criminal guys trying to like kill these people, and like these characters have to do what they can to try to survive, and they just get put in like all sorts of like crazy situations that Sam Raimi is just like so good at like constructing and building these like scenes. And even in like a slapstick movie like this, you can still see like the good filmmaking that Sam Raimi is doing here. You have your like signature like Raimi stuff here, where it's like a character will be like getting attacked, and they have to like use an object or something like next to them to like hit someone with it, or something to like save themselves, or they'll just like something absolutely insane will be happening, and they have to like try to survive it. There's this like whole scene with this guy on top of a car, and he's actually like in between two cars at one point. He's like extended out like in between two cars, like his whole body's like across the car like this. It's just like so hilarious, and then he's like on top of the car like fighting this guy. And yeah, it's just like so much like fun actually, like just to like see this whole how this all goes down. And yeah, it's just like a decent time overall that I had with it. And also, it's also worth noting that the Coens did write this story, and it is kind of like just like showing like a depiction of like crime in the world, and like it's showing like how police are so bad at like catching criminals and whatnot. And this is the Coens. They also are no stranger to writing like crime stories with a little bit of like a comedic spin on it. And, they add some of that flair to this that does help it a little bit, I think. So with that combination, this is still kind of an okay film. There's a certain like style to it with its like brand of humor that just doesn't work at all, but there's also like like a way of filmmaking with Raimi and the Coens that's really likable. And also, Bruce Campbell is in this movie. He brings like some good charisma and charm, and he has like a certain like energy and presence to him that's like you appreciate, similar to like that of like Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness, where he's kind of like this likable, happy-go-lucky, easygoing guy, who you feel like you could like get along with him, and he's kind of like that here too. So yeah, it's it's an alright film. I mean, I'm not going to recommend it, but I'm also not going to say I completely warn against it. So yeah, I'm going to give this film a 6.5 out of 10. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like if you have, and I'll see you guys in the next video.